Hello, everybody. Welcome to this English. So today we continue our lesson. So just want to mention that this is a distance teaching program, English for grade 10. And today lesson we are continuing a new unit, which is unit 8, girls and boy. Today we focus on grammar, lesson 1. We are talking about modal auxiliary verb. So I am Pinky, and today Friday, October 1st, 2021. Without further ado, please get started. So this is the title of our lesson, and we are talking about modal auxiliary verb. Yeah. So modal auxiliary verb. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to comprehend the modal auxiliary verbs by explanation and practice. You will be able to use modal auxiliary verb in writing and speaking as well. Last but not least, you will be able to exercise on the prepared task of auxiliary verb. Okay, so let's get started. So before we start the new lesson, we have to check for homework. So some of you send homework to me, so I choose one from of your classmates. So this is our previous homework. So number 2 here, questions and negative. Number 1, look at James' answers, complete the questions. So 1, how long have you worked for the New York Daily? Yep. So then it's 22 years. That's correct. Number 2, which famous people have you met? Okay, Bill Clinton and Nelson Mandela. All right. Number 3, have you ever played golf with the U.S. president? Yes, I have. So we use have to here. Sorry, we use have and played here. And yes, I have many times. I always win. Number 4, how many books have you written? All right, have you written? So this is 4. Yeah, they're all about places I've been to. Number 5, how long have you been married to Alice? 40 years. Right, so here we use have been. All right, so number 2 here, complete the negative sentences. Number 1, he not changed jobs for over 20 years. So the first one has been done for us. Let me read for you. He hasn't changed jobs for over 20 years. Number 2, the US president not beat him at golf. So the US president hasn't beaten him at golf. So we change beat to beaten. Okay. So number 3, he and his wife / not move house for a long time. So this is not a complete answer. So he should have written he and his wife haven't moved house for a long time. Okay. Number 4, he / not live in a better place than Long Island. So this is also another incomplete sentence. So he should have written he hasn't lived in a better place than Long Island. Right, great job. So we go to number 3 here. Write a short answer. So the first one has been done for us. Number 1, has he been to China? Yes, he has. Number 2, has the US president beaten him at golf? No, he hasn't. Not he has is, okay? Hasn't. This one we don't use isn't, okay? We use hasn't. Number 3, have he and Alice lived on Long Island for a long time? Yes, they have. Okay. Number 4, have they ever lived in a better place? No, they haven't, or they have not. Number 5, has he had a good life? Yes, he has. So good. Go to number 3, past participle. Complete the chart with the past participle and past participle of the verbs. Okay, sorry. So complete the chart with the past simple and the past participle of the verbs. So here you can see here we have the 3 columns. One is about verb, past simple, and the last one is about past participle. So in Khmer we also know verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. But in general, in English we call verb or base form of verb or be infinitive here, and this is past simple, and the last one is past participle. The first one has been done for us. So number 1, we have meet. So past simple of meet is made, and past participle of meet is also made. 2, see, and then saw, seen. 3, write, wrote, written. Number 4, win, won. Number 5, come, came, come. Number 6, go, went, gone. Number 7, be, was, been. So this one we can add another one, which is the past simple of be is were. So we can say be, was, or were, been. Okay. Number 8, have, had. Number 9, read. Number 10, do, did, done. Number 11, begin, began, begun. Okay, begin, began, begun. Number 12, find, found. Number 13, eat, ate, eaten. So I'm going to read again for you. Meet, made. See, saw, seen. Write, wrote, written. Win, won. Come, came, come. Go, went, gone. Be, was, or were, been. Have, had. Read, read. Do, did, done. Begin, began, begun. Find, found. Eat, ate, eaten. Right. So we go to number 4, for and sin here. So number 1, complete the sentences with for or sin. If you know that we studied already how to use for and sin in the present perfect tense, right? So number 1, I haven't spoken to hurry for or sin. So the student wrote for here, so that's correct. For months, okay, mean for a long time, for months, many months. Number 2, pets. Pets mean pet has been in America since January. Number 3, where have you been? I haven't seen you for ages. For ages mean for a long time. Yeah, for. Okay, number 4, I've been on holiday for a couple of weeks, mean amount of the weeks, 2 weeks. Okay, for a couple of weeks mean 2 weeks. Number 5, I've worked in the bank since I was 22. All right, so these answers are correct. Right, so go to number 2 to call the correct answer. So we have 2 choices for each statement here. So yeah, so the first one, I've been a student of English since 4. So we have to choose one here, since 3 years or for 3 years. So the student chose 4. So that's correct, for 3 years. Number 2, I plus Peter for a long time. So I've known, it means I have known Peter for a long time. So we use in present perfect, yeah, simple as well. Number 3, we haven't seen each other. So A, 10 years ago. B, since we were at school. So we haven't seen each other, okay, 10 years ago or since we were at school. So the student chose B, which is the correct answer here. Number 4, I've had a headache. So for or sin here on Monday. So we use sin Monday. Okay, number 5, I was a waiter. So for or sin, 10 months. So we for 10 months to show the amount of the months that a person was a waiter here. Now I'm a ship. Okay. Now I'm a ship. Number 6, I made my wife 10 years ago or since 10 years. So we don't use since 10 years. So the correct answer is letter A, 10 years. 10 years ago. Okay. So we have corrected our homework already. Without further ado, we're gonna go further to make a quick review on our previous lesson. So do you still remember that the lesson that we studied last week? I think the week before last week, because last week we got the Monday test of September. So yeah, this lesson was taught and learned the week before last week. So we studied about biography, yeah, writing focus on biography. You still remember what is biography? So it's kind of a written piece that one person write about another person, another famous person. So here are some characteristics of the biography, what you should write. So you should describe the event or person really happened. Yeah, it's non-fiction, it's the real event or real person. You don't make a fake person, you don't write about a fake people. Yeah, tell about the real people, yes, and achievement and experiences. So you have to describe about what he or she has achieved and gain experiences, and also inform, inspire the reader. You have to inspire the reader who read your biography. And you also mentioned about the challenges he or she meet, and you need to use, or you have to use the third person singular or the name of the person. For example, you use the name Barack Obama, or you can use the name of Jack Ma, or you can use the name of Nelson Mandela, and you use he or she. Yeah. So here is another example. Yeah, that we studied last week. The video for last week about Thomas Edison, the one who created the light bulb, right? So yeah, just want to show you here, and we also have the checklist called biography checklist. So after you have written your biography, you have to make you have to check your the characteristic of the your biography based on your checklist here. So the checklist, make sure that you mention or you write about his or her name and his or her date of place of birth, where and when did the person born, and also about the family information, lifetime accomplishment, yeah, and success. And we can say major or big events in his or her life. Lasting impact on society means something that he or she contribute in society, and use the third person as I mentioned, and also we use the positive adjective to express what we want to describe. Okay, so this is today's lesson. I just want to ask you a question. Have you ever used any modal auxiliary verb before, and what are those modal auxiliary verb? So why do we need to know them? Why do we need to know auxiliary verb? So all of these questions, if you could imagine, if you could think of these questions, I think you could have some idea in order to further study this modal auxiliary verb. Yeah. So I have summarized some modal auxiliary verb for you here. So here we have will, would, can, could, may, might, and must here. So we also have should as well, and have to. I don't mention here since we have, we have a few limited kinds of smart arts here. So I may just add have to and should as well. Right. So look at this one, and how do we use it, and to what extent, and to what extent or category that we use it. So we use can and could to express the ability of someone, okay, someone or something, but mostly about people. And we use can or could or may to express the permission, the permission. And I will give you the example later on, don't worry. So we use should to give advice. You should do this and you should do that. And we use must and have to talk about the application, what you are obliged to do, you are required to do, you must do it. Okay, so the last one, you use might, may, can, and could to talk about the possibility as well. Yeah, something is possible to happen, right? So let's move to the example. I prepared for you. So the first one, that I can speak two languages. So when we see the sentence, the statement that I can speak two languages here, I just make italize and bold on the verb phrase here, can speak. So can is an auxiliary verb and speak is a normal verb. Just say a verb. So you can just know that after auxiliary verb, we don't change the verb form. We don't add s, even though the subject is third person singular, we don't add s. But if you don't have auxiliary verb here, you must add s to the verb here. So this one, Dara can speak 2 languages. It means showing his ability to speak 2 languages. Good. Could speak English fluently when he was 8. So this one is also expressing the ability when he was young as well. Can I sit here? So you ask a question. Want to ask a question, make apply some request or something like that. So you can say, can I sit here, please, or can I sit here? Could you open the window? Yeah, this one you may ask help from somebody else, maybe your friend. You can say, could you open the window? Could you turn on the TV? Could you turn off the lights, for example? And may I borrow your pen? So this is you use may to ask something from somebody else. So you can say, may I borrow your pen, in a polite way. And I am late for the bus. This is just some information to make the second one. So look at this, focus on the second one. I must go now. So I must go now because why? Because I am late. I'm already late for the bus, so I must be hurried. Okay, or I must go now. You don't. So for this one, if you don't go, it means that you miss the bus. Why? You say, I must go now. I can't talk anymore. So this, the Buddhists have take off their capes or their hats. We can say Buddhists have to take off their capes before they get into the temple. So this is the application for the Buddhists. So they have to do so. Yeah, so have to is a kind of a modal verb as well, and take here is a verb, and take off is just a phrase here. So don't worry about off here. Just focus on have modal verb plus base form here. So have to take off their capes before they get into the temple. That example, it looks great, but might be expensive. So might be expensive. So the base form that stand after might is be. Yeah. So we don't change to is or am or are. So we just use be here because the letter the next word is an adjective. So that's why we need a be here. Last one, he may join the party with us tomorrow. So when we say he may join the party with us tomorrow, we are not sure whether he joined or not, but we say he may join the party with us tomorrow. Okay, so this is the note, which is very important note. Check this one first. Not change forms of the verb you use after modal auxiliary verb, as I have mentioned earlier. So we don't change, we don't add s2, we don't add es, we don't add ed or d. Yeah, we don't add ing to. We don't change the form of it. Yeah, so we just press as normal. Look at these 3 sentences. Must enjoy it. So look at letter S here is added to the verb enjoy here. So he may enjoy it. See, after may, after must, it was added as an ed here. So the last one here, he would enjoy it. So the adjective run here, ing here. So all of these 3 questions are incorrect or wrong. Don't use so. So how do we use it? So here are the correct answer. He must enjoy it. So mentioned here as a note here, after modal auxiliary verb, we don't add ed, d, or as or ing, or we don't change the form at all. So we just use the normal or base form of the verb or the infinitive without to here. So we say he must enjoy it, he may enjoy it, he would enjoy it. So these sentences are correct, right? So it's time for us to practice some exercises here. I'll be prepared for you. So so read the following statement and fill in the blanks provided. So I provide blank you and some statements here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 sentences we can say. So he must blah 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 to get. We have the verb to get his opportunity. So what should we do with this one? So I think I'm giving you 1 minute to read this and consider about this, and then we can go together. So I'm going to read it for you. He must blah 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 to get his opportunity. We should blah 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 to study hard to gain more knowledge. I may blah 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 to start a diet from now on. You might blah 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 to like this book. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Dara and Dari have to blah 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 to work harder to pass the exam. They can blah 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 to score. Score here is a verb to score. Yeah, verb to make score, to make points. 55 out of 100 points. Last one, they could blah 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 to pass the exam. So it's time for us to check the answer of each blanks here. So let's get started with the first one. Yeah, must get this opportunity. It is simple. Number 2, we should study hard to gain more knowledge. Number 3, yeah, it could be the third sentence here. I may start diet from now on. Number 4, you might like this book. I am not sure. Dara and Dari have to work harder to pass the exam. This one, you can score 95 out of 100 points. The last one, you could pass the exam. So this is TAC, but one thing that I want really important, a significant thing that I want to remind you, I want to urge you to remember or keep in mind that after auxiliary verb or modal auxiliary verb here, we don't add anything. We don't add s, we don't add ies, we don't add d, we don't add ed, yeah, or we don't add ing at all. That's why all the verb after this simple sentences we use be infinitive after each modal auxiliary verb here, like the words get, study, start, like, work, score, and pass. Okay, so we move on to the wrap-up activities. So remember what we studied. So today we are taking the grammar lesson, which is about So today's lesson is about the modal auxiliary verb, and as you can see, we have can, could, may, might, must, have to, should, will, and would as well. And remember, we don't change any form of the verb after each modal verb. And so you can see here, so each of the modal verb is used with their condition. It means that we use it to talk or express about ability. We use to talk or express about permission, advice, application, and possibility, as you can see here, and as I have mentioned earlier. So this is just a brief wrap-up activity. So we move on to homework, which is the last section that we are talking about. So today homework, I want you to use modal auxiliary verbs you have learned to make sentences. So you remember that some modal auxiliary verbs you have learned: will, would, can, could, may, might, have, to, must, yeah, so, and should. So all of those modal auxiliary verbs you can use them to make sentences. So make one sentence for each modal auxiliary verb. So suppose that there are 9 or there are 8 modal auxiliary verbs you have just learned today. So you can just make those sentences. So for example, he may go abroad. He may go abroad next year. So may and go, I just colored in this one. So may here is an auxiliary verb, and go is a base form or bare infinitive without to here. So this is example. So he may go abroad next year. So I hope that you got this. I will drop the slides and also the video in the group so that everyone can further study. And if you have any question, you can ask me on the group as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for your participation today. I hope you stay safe and sound with your family member and your friends. Love.